Hey guys, this is your girl Gloria from Heart of the City, San Diego, and we are live. So I'm live on a couple of different platforms. I'm live on YouTube. So hey, YouTubers out there, and I'll be live on Facebook. So on Heart of the City, San Diego platform and my personal platform. So thanks for being here. And then you can also find us on Apple, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and just all the audios as well. But today I'm here with my neighbor, but I want to tell you like a little backstory. This is Fabian Jr. We call him Junior from down the street. But it was funny because one day I came out. We always say hi to each other as we come out, and I'm on my way to work and stuff. But one day I came out and I was like, "Hey, did you hear that I was in the Ukraine?" Which I wasn't really in the Ukraine. I didn't make it to the Ukraine. I made it to Poland. But he goes, no. So we started telling the story, right? And then he goes, well, did you hear about that I opened up a business? And then so he goes in, and I'm like, a business? What are you talking about? He goes, yeah. So he starts saying about, I don't know about you, but a lot of people lost their jobs during COVID. But my friend Junior here, who's actually kind of a relative as well, because we share the same grand nephew. We share. She's my niece's son's uncle. My nephews, yeah. Did I say that right? Well, he was telling me the story of how he opened up a shop, which we're in today. It's called Collectors Cafe San Diego, right?
Yes.
And I was like, what? So I came and visited, and I found all of the stuff that my grandkids love, like Hot Wheels and the Funko collectors that my granddaughter loves. And so I don't know about you, but I'm getting ready for Christmas, and I have my eye on a couple of different items right now. But I want to introduce to you Fabian, and Fabian's going to share a little bit about his story and how he kind of came to do this, which I thought was really interesting when you were telling me about it.
Yeah, so I've been collecting Hot Wheels since pretty much high school, which is like the late 1990s.
Wow.
And, I was always into building model cars. So I was always into cars.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came across certain Hot Wheels, like, I saw that they would make like Impalas. So that caught my eye. So I would only buy certain Impala Hot Wheels. And then other brands were making like lowrider style cars. So that's what I was into. Um, and I never knew the world of Hot Wheels, of how big it is, or was and is.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty big.
yeah. And so I was always only buying like stuff that I was looked cool to me. Um, and it was only here and there, but once I saw that collecting Hot Wheels was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And um, so I did that for a few years,
Mm-hmm.
and then I took a break. I put everything in boxes and storage, and it was funny because my parents are like, "Why are you buying all these Hot Wheels for?" And I was like, it's a collection. Like, just wait. And so in the 2000s, about 2011 is when I saw newer, lowrider style Hot Wheels. So that got me back into it. And then I just went, I went, hardcore into buying Hot Wheels and looking them up and going hunting. We call it Hot Wheel hunting. So
Oh, yeah.
we'd go from as far as San Isidro
Mm-hmm.
to Mira Mesa and just going to Toys R Us, um, Targets, Walmarts.
That sounds like a really cool hobby to get into with your kids,
Yeah.
if you're a dad or even a mom. And I mean, I remember back in the day, we didn't have computers and, all the cell phone stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember going and doing like the collector things with my dad,
Yeah.
and he loved to go in and out of the shops. And I remember that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Going in and shopping and collecting, and him telling us what this is about. And it was trains. We used to collect the trains.
Oh, trains are nice.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And and with collecting Hot Wheels, I mean, you go to the store and they were $1, less than $1, so it was cool because the way I started to see it is if you find, they have like a treasure hunt. So when you find the treasure hunt in the store, it's $1, but the moment you walk outside the store, it's worth $15-$20.
Oh wow!
So
I didn't know that.
yeah, so and that was like, the thing people wanted to find was the treasure hunts.
Yeah.
And in the 90s and 2000s, you could always tell a Hot Wheel treasure hunt because they used to have like a green and a treasure chest.
Oh, I didn't know that they did that. That's really
Yeah.
interesting.
So there were little things that caught people's attention and all that. So
Yeah.
but like when I started, I didn't know about the treasure hunt, and so I was just buying the lowrider cars. So
Right.
but after like 2011 is when I was, oh, there's treasure hunts, like, oh wow, like,
Yeah.
and those are worth more in collection. So then that's what I would keep an eye out for. And
See, that sounds fun. You're going on
yeah,
a treasure hunt. I don't think a lot of people know that. Am I the only one that doesn't know that?
yeah. And so come to 2019, right before COVID, I had lost my job. So was like, well, what am I gonna do now?
Right.
And me and my friends were always talking about we should open up a diecast store because there's not a store in San Diego like this. You have comic book stores
Yeah.
that carry some Hot Wheels. You have like other collectible shops, but we're dedicated mostly to what we call diecast, which is Hot Wheels, anything car related. Um, and I mean, so far it's going pretty well.
That's great.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so due to COVID, I pulled out my old collection, and I used because I was always buying one or two of
Right.
each car.
Yeah.
So you know when I pulled out my old collection, I used some of my old collection to start.
Yeah.
Because people that were new collectors
Yeah.
didn't know about the older stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." So we would do. I would sell or trade. And then we started doing we call them toy shows. Like we have our toy show that we run is called the Diecast and Donuts, and it's every second Sunday of every month, and we do it right outside here.
Yeah.
And I have probably like anywhere between 15 to 20 vendors,
What?
and we all
Wow.
just do a sell and trade, and
That's really
we
interesting.
fill up the parking lot, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to meet other collectors because
You could trade off and
you can trade and
collaborate.
everybody,
Yeah.
and like and like me, I like to meet new people, and share our stories and how we got into collecting and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. And then, like you said, the kids, like I've seen kids growing up in the hobby, and they have their own collection
Yeah.
and their dads, so I try to get my nephews,
Yeah.
they have their own little collection.
Oh, that's
But
so
right now,
cool.
because
I like that.
CJ is like 11 or 12, so he's kind of a little bit everywhere right now.
Yeah.
But
CJ is my niece's son.
Yeah, so but he has his little collection. He always comes, and um, tells me what he's gonna do with his collection. And another thing that I start, well, I didn't start it, but I would always do is I always carried a Hot Wheel in my pocket. So every time I left the house, I always had a Hot Wheel in my pocket. So I was in a couple bowling leagues, so I'd always carry a Hot Wheel.
That's a great idea.
I would take a picture and post it on my Instagram, which is Fabian619, and I do a hashtag it's what's in your pocket.
What?
And so if you look up that hashtag, you're gonna see just many pictures of people's pocket car. Like that's what. And my nephew CJ, we would go bowling, and he'd be like, "Look, Theo," and he'd pull out 5 Hot Wheels out of his pocket.
Oh, really?
So I thought that was cool.
That's cool. I like that. That's a really great idea.
Yeah. So there's always, our Hot Wheels community is really big, and it's awesome because it's literally worldwide.
Wow. Did I just see that somewhere you posted you had the Hot Wheels monster truck?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I could see it back there. Can you get, yeah, they could see it on the camera.
So here's a monster truck.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up with the Hot Wheels, and
there was a monster truck show last weekend here at the sports arena.
Yeah, I know.
And this is an exclusive one that you can only get if you went to the show.
Wow.
So I had a customer that he comes in with his mom, and so they came by and they're like, "Hey, we brought you a gift," and so I was like, "That's
cool.
awesome!" Yeah,
that is awesome. Yeah, I love that.
And so another thing too is I also do custom Hot Wheels. So like I do full customs where they're repainted, working suspensions. I mean, I'm a lowrider guy, so it goes up and down, 3-wheel motion. I mean, I added the patterns,
Yeah.
I do all the little details, which makes the.
Is there a car club on the back of that?
Yeah. It says Bug Builds plaque.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's a cool hobby, and it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I like that, and I like the way that you talked about going through the generations, and then I like the way that you said you have play this little game where you have Hot Wheels in your pocket, and then you hashtag it and stuff. Yeah. And that's so cool. That's
and it's really cool because I'll go to like other shows, and a lot of people that follow me, and they'll be, "Hey, what's in your pocket?" So I'll pull out whatever was in my pocket that day, and I was like, "Okay, just checking."
That is so cool.
So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in the donuts.
Yeah. So yeah, we do. It's called the Diecast and Donuts. And I mean, we get a pretty good amount of people out here.
Wow.
And
yeah.
And yeah, we buy donuts, and people come by, and they're free. So
what is the most the biggest? Oh, how would I put it? What is the one card that you have, or any of your collectibles, that is the most precious?
So I have a few that a friend of mine painted and did. They're customized for me, and those are at home in my personal case.
Oh, but keep that one safe.
Yeah, it's just one of those that if he told me, he goes, if you want to sell them, go ahead and sell them. But they're if you were to put a price on them, they would be like maybe
Prices.
$300 to $400 a piece.
Oh,
Just
wow.
because of
Yeah.
it. It's a it's a little car,
Hmm.
but he painted everything by by hand, and all the details that he added to it,
Yeah.
the interior. I mean, this guy went all out,
Wow.
and so I always display him. I would take him with me to shows to
Yeah.
show him off, but at that same part, like I was afraid I would
Yeah.
drop it or
Yeah.
damage it. So, but I have a few pieces that are um close to me that I would never get rid of, and and then I also have some pieces that are
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Couple. They're worth a couple, three, four, $500.
Wow, that's
Um,
crazy.
this one is probably about 700 to 800.
Wow.
Um, and it's just it's whatever people are willing to pay for it.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
important it is to them.
So the way I get my prices
Hmm.
is I check eBay and
Hmm.
I check what has sold,
Hmm.
and then I'll get my number from there. So that's how I get my majority of my prices.
That's
But I
awesome.
also have pieces, that you can't buy in stores,
Yeah.
like stuff like this. This you will never see inside of a store
Hmm.
because they're exclusives to a wholesaler. You
Oh,
know,
that's cool. Is that what a surfboard I'm talking
yeah,
about? Oh, look at that.
the
That
little
is so.
Datsun 510 wagon.
Oh yeah, the Datsuns. I like the Datsuns.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
So the Datsun 510 is a very popular casting in the Hot Wheels world.
Really
Yeah. There's a
interesting.
wagon and then there's the coupe,
Yeah,
and those things are sought after like all the time.
really. Oh,
Yeah.
that is so interesting. Well, I am just so pleased to be here with Fabian. And, we were talking behind the scenes. We always have this, when I interview people, there's always this dialogue that goes on behind the scenes. Um, but I have never interviewed someone that is kind of family related in somehow. And I have to give my Uncle Jojo a shout out because he
Yeah.
you are the hero here. And from generation to generation, Uncle Jojo was like the coolest in my generation,
Yeah.
and now in your generation, he is the coolest.
Yeah,
He's
he's
spending
still.
time with you, teaching you some
Yeah.
things. My uncle was a professional
Archer.
archer, and he's a hunter and knows how to throw the
Yeah.
knives and everything. And he was telling Fabian was telling me that.
And and he was always when I was working with him and hanging around, my how we'll collecting was here and there, but I would have my toolbox at work, and I would have a Hot Wheel, or so
Yeah,
he would want to get his grandkids to collect, so I would give them pointers because they're little kids.
yeah,
So you buy a kid a Hot Wheel, he's gonna want to open it,
yeah,
and there's two different types of collectors.
yeah.
There's collectors that keep everything in the package,
Mhm,
and there's collectors that open everything.
mhm,
And to me, I like to open stuff.
mhm,
I don't want to say cries, but they're like, "Oh, you ruined the value of it." But it's my collection.
mhm.
So
Let
whether I
them do
play
it.
with it or,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not sitting there playing with it. I open it, I
yeah,
like it,
yeah,
and it goes on my shelf,
yeah,
and that's my collection.
yeah.
But so with the kids, I would always tell them, okay, if you find them at the store, buy two. They're only $1. You keep one closed, and you get to open one.
Oh,
You
that's a
know.
good idea.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's It's a great idea.
And that's what I told CJ.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, tell your dad to buy it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one you can put in your collection and
Yeah.
one you can open.
That's a great
And
idea.
so,
Yeah.
you know,
I remember my brother had them, and we had tracks all over the
yeah.
house, doing circles and zigzags and all kinds of stuff.
So
But
I didn't have many tracks, but I have a one that it's like a 6 lane, just a downhill.
right.
And so like I would take it home, and
Hmm.
the kids would like, oh, can we use it?
Oh,
And
how
so we'd
fun.
have races and everything.
Yeah.
So it's fun. Like it,
That's so cool.
even at our diecast and donuts show.
Yeah.
I mean, when it starts to like slow down, or people are starting to like fade away, we'll start having races.
Hmm.
And so we'll be like, okay, we're gonna have you know um a mainline race.
Hmm.
So a mainline Hot Wheel is your typical Hot Wheel you find at Target, Walmart, whatever. So,
Okay. Yeah.
so this
Hmm.
is a mainline.
Hmm.
And then the next step up is a treasure hunt. And then the next step up from a treasure hunt is a super treasure hunt.
Okay.
And those come with rubber wheels. They're worth a little bit more. They're still $1 at the store,
Wow.
but the moment you walk outside of it,
Hmm.
I mean, you can sell it easy $40-$50.
No way.
Yeah,
I don't think a lot of people know that.
yeah. And then it depends on the model it is.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a Datsun 510 that's a super treasure hunt,
Hmm.
and that thing is about $120 right now.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
interesting, man.
So we
That's
would have
good.
races where it's main lines, and then the winner gets to keep all the cars. Just
Yeah,
little things to entertain
to
us.
entertain and have
But
fun.
and the cool thing is about our shows is the ages of everybody is
All ages,
all
right?
ages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see
you
that.
know we have the oldest man here, and then we'll have
Yeah,
the kids collecting,
yeah,
and some of these kids they know what they're into, and
really.
yeah. I mean, you have a 13, 14-year-old kid that comes in, and his favorite car is a Nissan Skyline, GTR, and he starts throwing out these numbers, and we're like, wow, like this kid knows his stuff, he knows what he
Right.
likes,
Yeah. Oh
you
my
know.
gosh. How interesting is that? Well, you have so many different things. You have some Pokemon stuff. You got the Funkos that my granddaughter loves.
Yes.
Um,
So we dabble
Star
in a
Wars
little bit of
stuff.
everything.
Yeah.
We do Funko Pops.
This is. I gotta
Yeah.
show you this right here. Some of you know I like Led Zeppelin.
It's cool because the Hot Wheels has done a lot of how does it like culture involved, like
Oh,
themes.
themes, yeah, huh?
Like there's a Led Zeppelin collection. There's a
Yeah.
um um oh
There's
my
the
god, I'm having a
lowrider
blank.
collection. There's
The Beatles. They did a Beatles
like
collection.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like
You know,
that's so cool. Like music
yeah.
wise, yeah.
Um, it's there. There's just a bunch.
There's
There.
so it goes on and on.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. Is there anything else that you want to say before we close? Do you want to I do want to say something else though before we close because there was a lot that I was thinking about when you were sharing and stuff behind the scenes, and some of the things that you shared were like the things that you went through during COVID that a
Yeah.
lot of us can relate to, like losing your job and things.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but Fabian here didn't just sit around doing nothing. He came up with these brilliant ideas and then he took action to it.
Yeah.
And so you can't, it doesn't hurt to jump in and try.
Yeah,
So
because one of the things is, you will never find out if you can make it or not if you don't try.
Yes.
And that was one of the biggest things during COVID because, like you said, I would have been sitting around doing nothing and,
Yeah.
what am I going to do next? And,
Mm-hmm.
well, this was one of our ideas. And, I talked to, like my dad, and he's like, look, that's what, this is what you like, and this is what you're
Yeah.
into, the stuff.
Yeah.
Why not start it?
Yeah.
And,
I like that.
so we found this location. So we're located in Sports Arena, 3538 Hancock Street, and we're literally right behind the Kobe Swap Meet. Um, and so we found this location,
Mhm.
and we've been here going on. This is my second year. So we signed. We started last in June,
Mhm.
and this is our second year here.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
it's going good. And like I said, like I always tell people, um, collecting and selling and trading Hot Wheels, if you're doing it for a hobby, you're not gonna get rich off of it.
Yeah.
To me, I sell and I have connections where I
Yeah.
can get stuff that nobody else can get at stores.
Yeah.
But my prices, like I tell my customers, is like I'm giving them the deals so I can continue to buy more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm also a collector. So
Mm-hmm.
if I can get stuff for all of us
Right.
at a cheap price, and I'm willing to help out a collector.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Good.
building community,
Yeah.
and I like that. I like your family is like that anyway. Like your
Yeah.
mom was, over, bringing, stuff to my mom,
Yeah.
and your sister as well, and it just that whole block that we
Yeah.
live on was just like so helpful to each other,
Yeah.
and that's community oriented.
Mhm.
And that's what you brought here to your shop. You brought
Yeah.
community. I mean, where do we get that anymore? Like,
Yeah. So like next month, there's actually a Hot Wheels convention,
mhm.
and it's actually next week.
Yeah.
And um, a lot of people follow me on Instagram. So in an event like that, it's cool because I get to meet my followers.
Yeah.
And like I said, these guys, it's a worldwide, like, Hot Wheels is worldwide. So on these conventions, because it's in LA, right,
Uh-huh.
like literally right outside the airport, so
Yeah.
you have all these people that come from Europe and Japan, and so you get to meet these collectors
Wow.
and talk to them, and they're like, oh, cool. And I've been following you for
Right.
4 or 5 years, and so
Yeah.
it's an awesome event, and like you
Mhm.
said, and like it's all ages,
Yeah. All ages.
and
Yep.
you have people who customize Hot Wheels, even the kids are customizing,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they always want pointers and need help, and like me, I've been doing this for a few years now, and I'm always learning new techniques.
Yeah.
And it always like, okay, like, I can do it this way now, or, change up my techniques,
Right.
and it's cool,
Yeah.
because, like I said, everything, we can always learn from each other,
Mhm.
and,
Yeah.
there's no, and the way I see it is,
Yeah.
I'm no better, better than anyone,
Yeah.
because I'm still learning.
You're still learning. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's good to stay like that. It's good to stay, keep
Mhm.
learning, keep learning. Even if you're on top of your game, you just
Yeah.
keep learning. And I like the community aspect of it. That's what happens to me when I podcast.
Yeah.
I'm meeting so many different people who I wouldn't ordinarily get to meet.
Yeah.
And later, some people become friends, and
Mhm.
even around the world.
Yeah.
They're like, I seen you here and I see you there, or I interviewed someone. I interviewed the two Ukrainian girls, and they got to share their story.
Yeah.
And I interviewed them in Poland,
That's
of all
awesome.
places. So it's this crazy, amazing thing that we can do and cause community to happen with
Yeah.
it.
And like a few months ago, there was a guy that was from Switzerland
Oh wow.
that he was here for a few months, and he was here every day. And he's like, man, I hope I don't, wear out my welcome. I said, no, man, you're welcome here every day. Like I love talking to some,
Right.
I love chit chatting. And then you're from another country,
Bring
so
me a coffee.
and what's cool is because you get to learn, like his way of collecting or what he likes, because he's from Switzerland.
Yeah.
So out there, they're more into collecting like American cars,
Right. Yeah.
because
I could see that.
all the
Yep.
JDM and all the
Uh-huh.
European cars, they're used to it.
Right.
So when he goes out here, he's like, I'm looking for Mustangs, Camaro, stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I have that everywhere,
Right.
you know? And but because out here,
Yeah.
everybody's used to that. So
Hmm.
the big castings are JDM and,
Yeah.
European cars.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just to find that out, like, oh, that makes sense,
Yeah.
I didn't even
Yeah.
think of that way that, okay, you're gonna be looking for muscle cars and stuff that they don't really have out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was cool. So we still in contact, and we say hi, every other day, and
That's great.
yeah,
That's
so it's
awesome.
cool, and
Yeah. So now you got to go visit Switzerland.
yeah. Well, that was, and then that I've always said if I ever hit the lotto, I'm moving to Switzerland, or at least visiting,
Yeah.
because that place is beautiful.
Yeah.
And that was one of the, and it just this guy, "Hey, I'm from Switzerland." I'm like, get out of here, like.
That's fun. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's awesome, but yeah, if you guys want to come by and check out our shop, you can
Mhm.
check us out on Instagram, which is
Yeah.
at Collectors Cafe San Diego, all one word.
Hmm.
Um, you can follow me at Fabian619. That's my diecast page, and we're on Facebook at Collectors Cafe San Diego. Um,
Yep.
and then if you guys, we can also make stickers and decals.
Oh
If you
yeah,
guys
that's right. Yeah,
if you
I
guys
forgot.
wanna need something printed, we have the machine. And then if you're in here shopping, my buddy literally the next office, they do car wash and auto detail. So you can get your car washed and detailed while you're checking out some Hot Wheels.
I was just looking for a detailer. Do they
Yeah.
do tinting as well?
Not yet,
Not yet.
because the guy that did all that, he moved somewhere else.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But we used to do. We're looking for another person to do car wraps and window tint, but auto detail, and then the
Yeah.
next door is a mechanic. So it
It's all here.
it worked out because we're all into cars here.
Right.
So at one way or another, you're gonna see some nice cars, and
Yeah.
every now and then there'll be a couple of Porsches in the garage, and
Yeah.
like some nice cars, and you're like, wow, these are cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. I need to come back and check that out. Okay, so we're gonna close now, and Fabian, it was such a joy to have you on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, fist bump.
My pleasure.
Yes, homie. All right, we're going to peace out for now, guys. This is Fabian. Go check out his social media links. And oh, look at hi, Rosh. Rosalind is viewing from London. Actually, let me read what she says. She said, I go into the English accent. How do you know? She says, how do you know which ones are worth collecting and which ones are generic?
So generic they're gonna have a regular plastic wheel, and let me show you. Let me get them quick.
And Rosalind is she's kind of like one of my children, her brother, and she's got her own children and a son.
So this one, if you can tell, it has the rubber wheels, and then there's a little symbol on the quarter panel. It's like a little symbol, like a little flame circle.
A little flame circle.
Yeah. So it's right there.
Oh, okay. In that little circle right
Yeah.
there.
And then if you decide to open it, on the back of the card, there's this little gold symbol. It's on the card itself.
On the for if you're listening on the audio, it's on the bottom of the card, and there's a symbol. What symbol are we looking for?
It's a gold flame circle.
Oh, a gold flame
It's on
circle.
the package.
And it's on the package, and it's kind of hidden, like on the bottom right there. Kind of, it's on the package itself and hidden kind of on the bottom and to the side of the card. Excuse me.
Yeah. So this is one of the ones that you can find at the at a store for $1, and this is probably worth about $150 right here.
Wow! So you're looking for that gold thing
Yeah.
behind, like kind of hidden behind there?
Yeah. So, and it'll say congratulations, you found the super treasure hunt.
Oh wow!
But yeah, they have rubber wheels, and a regular mainline just has plastic wheels. Like all these have plastic wheels.
Yeah, you can see the difference when you actually pick up the package. Whereas that one had a rubber wheel and this one has just a plastic.
Yeah.
And you can see it when you actually.
And then I wish I had a regular one of these, but if you find a regular one of these, the paint is a little bit like this. They use like what they call a spectra flame paint. And the regular one would be like dull. Okay. Like less bright.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it'll be a lighter.
So if it looks bright and shiny, it's probably a collector's thing.
It's probably.
And then look for the little
gold. The gold flame. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to explain.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to explain it. Okay. All right, guys, we are going to tune out for now, and thanks for watching. This is Fabian. Go check out his social media links, and where you find him on social media, you can ask him whatever questions you want to ask, and he's good. He gets back to you really quickly and stuff. And then when you come to San Diego and visit, check out his shop. All right, I love you guys. And this is Gloria from Heart of the City, San Diego, Gloria Medrano. Peace out.